YouTube world? My name is Nicholas Montes, and you are?
Kim Montez.
And you're watching my YouTube channel, Nicholas Montes. Welcome back to another YouTube channel video, everybody. I'm so excited to have y'all back here together again. And today, we're going to be talking about we're going to be ranking the 6 MCU movies that I want to make part 1 video. That video that I did back when my channel was starting. And, she's going to be ranking the movies that I talked about in that video, but also be doing I'll be doing my ranking, because for that series, I don't really rank the films. I technically talk about them and, like, what are my ideas for those movies. But with that said, let's get started talking about them. So the way it's going to work is I'm going to talk about, her number 6, because, you know, this is her video. Then I'll talk about my number 6. And then we'll just go on straight through there. But if some of our numbers are the same, so we're gonna talk. There's gonna be, like, number 6 is technically gonna be talking about one full video of our two number 6. So with that said, let's get started. So if you don't know what this movie's about, basically of course like Iron Man 2, this is basically my Iron Man 2. Basically what this movie's about is of course it takes place like 2 years after the original Iron Man movie that I'm making. And basically, if you know me, I'm not the biggest fan of Iron Man 2, but I have an interesting idea for this film where Arnold Stark is having a hard time balancing basically everything. Being the next Iron Man, being the lead, the next guy in charge of Stark Industries, the guy that's the superhero, the guy that's the famous guy, like he's having a hard time dealing with that. But then he also has Whiplash to fight, as well as Justin Hammer, and so it's a lot for him. But you know, but the reason why it's a little bit lower is because I'm not the biggest fan of Iron Man 2, I'm kind of taking inspiration from the movie to see what I can do. But Iron Man 2 didn't really have that great storytelling. But after what I just said, Mom, what are you excited for this movie if it's made?
I'm interested in seeing what's the guy's name that's taking over Stark Industries?
Arnold Stark?
Right, and that's Tony's son, right?
Sorta. Well, yeah.
Well, I'm interested to compare the original Iron Man to him to see if they have similar you know,
personalities,
like not personality, but like intellect, because Iron Man was like super smart, and you know, so to see the comparison to the original Iron Man and how he's going to handle taking on everything.
Yeah, and the thing is that she loves Iron Man 2, like, but I hate that movie. But she's not like a movie fan like I am, where she has to look at plots and stories and character arcs. But she enjoys it because it gives you more Iron Man, which is one thing I enjoy about the movie as well. But I hope if this movie's made, I hope that it is a pretty good movie. Like, probably I hope it's like a B- or something. But I want a actual good Iron Man sequel. So yeah, now let's move on to number 5. So if you don't know what this movie is about, basically it's about Thor's son Magni, which he's not real. I don't think he's one of the more famous Marvel characters, but I want to make a movie. Most of my movies that I want to make are about the MCU heroes' kids, or even if it's introducing a new character that's new in the MCU, I'm probably just gonna make it like their own character. But for most of my MCU films, I want to make them about the MCU characters' kids, and this is another one of those movies. And basically, it's about Magni, where basically it takes place in the new Asgard that we saw in Avengers Endgame, where because he's the future king of Asgard, of the Earth, Norway, Asgard, he's not ready to be king yet because he's very young, but he wants to learn how to be a king by protecting this Asgard. But Thor just does not see it as that way. So in order for him to become a god like Thor, he goes on this adventure to find this weapon so that way he can become a god himself and basically protect Asgard from all these threats. And he teams up with Darcy from WandaVision and the Thor movies, Eric Selvig, Darcy's intern, and then you're also gonna get this and those characters. I want to make them superheroes. I know that's technically a thing that people are hating about Thor: Love and Thunder, that they're making Jane Foster into a superhero, and I know a lot of people don't like turning the non-superpowered characters into superheroes, but that's something I enjoy. And then you're also going to get some sort of kind of Heimdall's kind that has the power of the Bifrost, so I want to introduce that sort of character. And I kind of want to have sort of this Aquaman spike, like the Black Manta storyline, where like where it's sort of like the Jotunheim fight, where he goes to try and fight an Asgardian threat, but then it doesn't work out very well. But then his father dies anyways, and so he decides to team up with Loki to get the Destroyer armor and become the actual Destroyer to destroy Magni. And yeah, but that's really all I have to say from there. But that story is a little bit is pretty complex, but it's not that much. So, what are you excited to see from this movie if it's made?
I'm excited to see where his adventure takes him and what weapon he ends up getting.
Yeah, I'm probably thinking about like adding probably like a yellow
Make it
hammer.
a surprise. Shh, don't give all your secrets out.
Okay. But also, I think
there may be trolls out there.
But yeah. But if you don't know, I think in Thor: Love and Thunder, I heard a rumor once that I think it's taking place before Avengers Endgame, but because we know that the Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be in there, but I don't know. But I think that Thor: Love and Thunder is going to explore the Norway Asgard. If it does, I'm going to be super happy because it could explore something kind of new in the MCU, but still back to the original same formula. But I think if Magni God of Thunder is the film that could explore the Norway Asgard, I'm down for that.
I'm interested in seeing what it looks like.
Yeah, because we saw a glimpse of it because Valkyrie was there and Korg and Meek, but they weren't like we didn't see much of it. All we did it looked like normal people just living their normal lives. But yeah, I am the ideas that I have planned for this movie. I'm very excited, but it's because Thor is not the best MCU movie. There are some things in it that I'm not very excited for, but overall, pretty excited to make it. So this is my own Captain America film, where it's basically about Steve Rogers' son, James Rogers, where it basically takes the idea of what if you can send someone to the future to stop this upcoming threat. And the idea of sending someone from the past to the future is just kind of a cool idea, but it's kind of a little bit more than that, because you're sending Steve Rogers' son to the future, where basically he's much like Steve Rogers before he became Captain America, where he basically is this scrawny kid in Brooklyn, and there's this sudden Hydra attack that happens, and this big chase, and people are trying to steal weapons and stuff, but then he has to risk the cop's life by getting blasted by this thing, and he gets the super soldier serum. And once Steve finds out, he realizes that Red Skull and Hydra are back, but he retired as Captain America. Well, he's not fighting as Captain America, but he is Captain America in his own new way. But he's not fighting. He's not being Captain America as the fighter. So he needs someone to go handle it, and he can't really go back to the future, because he promised his wife that he'll never go back, because this is the life that he wants to go to now. So James Rogers is the only hope that both this reality and the future has. So he has the technology of that they use to go back in Endgame. So they use that and send James to the future, so that way they can team up with Sam and Bucky to defeat Red Skull. Along the way, you'll also get my own version of the Howling Commandos, where it actually has Nick Fury's son, Wolverine's son, sort of Russian, not Russian spy, but like some sort of Russian girl spy, sort of like that. So I actually have some pretty cool ideas in it. I think now, technically, I know it can kind of ruin the character arc of Sam Wilson and Falcon Winter Soldier, because his arc in that show is amazing, but I don't know. I think at the end of the day, it's gonna make sense. I'm gonna try to make an arc. Well, obviously, I think he will be still be Captain America once James Rogers comes to the future, but I think towards the end of the movie, James Rogers will become the next Captain America, and Sam Wilson will probably be like the Falcon of America. But overall, I'm very excited for this movie. What are you excited from this movie? Because I have this movie way higher on this list.
Yeah, I'm excited for it too. Just the interaction and all those characters that you mentioned, and especially Sam, and if he'll kind of be maybe like a father figure.
Yeah.
To him, that would be good.
Like the mentor.
Yeah, Bucky too. Yeah, exactly. So excited.
Yeah, that actually makes me even more excited, because I just love how they do the storytelling in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, those characters are just so good. So I'm very excited for it. You are too. So, but I have this movie way higher on my list as of right now. So, this movie is gonna be, once again, it's another character that is the son of one of the MCU characters, Hulk. So this movie's about the son of Hulk, Skaar, where, he's not really, it's a little bit different from Thor, because Thor and Hulk are like the strongest Avengers, and, it's not really gonna be like Magni, God of Thunder. It's more gonna be like Skaar just minds his own business. He doesn't really want to be a Hulk, but then this accident happens, and he turns into actually Professor Skaar, I would say, and then he actually teams up with A-Bomb and She-Hulk, because they know what's going on. They know that he's the son of, well, actually, they don't know that he's the son of the Hulk, but then you're also going to get, they're trying to protect, because he's another Hulk, you're also gonna get the Red Hulk, which is Thunderbolt Ross, the guy that we've seen in the Incredible Hulk, Civil War, and the 2 recent Avengers movies, and I think that's gonna be very cool. But I hope if they do introduce him into like the Thunderbolts project that they're working on, hopefully if they make the Thunderbolts project, but if Red Hulk is introduced in this movie, I am down for it, because I want to see a showdown between Skaar and Red Hulk. That's just going to be a dream come true. And then you're also going to get the return of Abomination, where he basically is teaming up with the leader to create this gamma radiation army to make this machine to turn everyone into gamma monsters. Obviously, that's too comic booky, but overall, I am kind of excited for it. It's a little bit more exciting than Magni, God of Thunder, because I think the story is a little bit better to understand. But yeah, I know this isn't technically your number to rank, but what are you excited for the Incredible Skaar?
Why is his name Skaar?
That's just his name.
Oh.
I don't really know.
And is he good?
He's his son. It's Hulk's son. How could he not be good?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm interested, I guess, in the fighting parts, and to see his strength compared to his dad.
Yeah, and you're also gonna get like his, like, it's not just gonna be like him and Hulk. It's gonna be also his wife and his daughter and stuff like that. So I'm very excited to see that, and hopefully we can actually get like a brother and sister relationship between them. So I can't wait to. I can't wait to make this. So if you don't know what this movie is, basically it's a similar plot to the first Avengers film where Nick Fury is teaming up all 6 of these heroes to stop Loki from stopping a big giant event from happening. And it's basically simple from that, but I think the way we can kind of tell the story, I kind of want it to be a little bit more like, kind of like Mortal Kombat, where they kind of take these characters, obviously not obviously have them together at some point, like with Black Widow and Hawkeye, because I know they were partners, but I don't really like that. I don't like how they know each other. I want them to be separate. And like in my Iron Man 2 movie, I don't want to introduce I don't want to introduce the daughter of Black Widow, because I just feel like the Avengers should be separate in their own movies. But that's just my opinion. But like I want, the way I want to introduce the characters, I want to introduce them by what their life is up to this point in time. Like where Captain America is, he's basically hunting down after the event of Hydra and Red Skull returning and from destroying half the planet. Basically, the government's plot line because this movie's taking place in, I believe, 2042. And the first Captain America film that I'm making is going to take place in 2031. So it's like he's been Captain America for like a decade, and so basically the government's trying to track down the Power Broker, which is a character that we know is Sharon Carter, but I kind of want to make my own Power Broker, because we've seen many characters that take on different mantles, so
yeah, I was shook.
And
with her.
A lot of people knew.
Yeah, but she's bad now.
Yeah, some people think that the Power Broker plotline is going to lead into the Secret Wars. I mean, the Armor Wars, which is about this series where War Machine is stopping people from Stark's tech getting into the wrong hands. And now that super soldiers are off the table, there's probably like government weapons, which now that Tony Stark has signed the Accords, the Sokovia Accords in Civil War, the government now owns the Stark tech that Tony Stark had, so they probably will steal it, but who knows? Probably it's a rumor. It's not confirmed. But so that scene where we get introduced to Captain America and his team again. Obviously his team will, both the Roaring Commandos, the new Howling Commandos, and Sam's team, they're working together now, so they're basically like a full-on team, which kind of makes it better because some of their teams have different sort of powers that can work in a team, in a fighting group together. But they're after different types of people that work for the Power Broker. So Captain America is trying to look for the Smiling Tiger, which is a guy that Sam impersonated when he went to Madripoor to look for the super soldier serum with Bucky and Zemo. But I'm not really sure about the other characters of what they could be continuing on. Probably Iron Man, doing what he does best with like. And I also want to make it like a Sing, like Sing, where they show they zoom out of what the character is doing, and then they show this other character. Like I want to do sort of something like that, but we'll see what happens. But overall, it's the same story as the Avengers, but I want to do something kind of new with it. But overall, what are your thoughts on this movie? What are you excited for this film?
I like the movies where they all come together and have a mission.
But the difficult thing about this is that the first Avengers, I understand it was about the actual team of the Avengers, where they were assembling for the first time. Like they didn't have any stories. I mean, obviously they did have other characters with the Shield and Pepper Potts and stuff like that, but think about the other Avengers in movies, the Avengers Infinity War, in Endgame. Mm-hmm. They culminated the heroes of all the MC movies. And if the Avengers was the culmination of the franchise, like where was the Warriors 3? Where was War Machine? Where was Happy Hogan? Like where were all those characters? Like I still wonder to this day why they weren't in the Battle of New York, like because they could have helped. And like 6 heroes could not take on an entire army, but they did. And they had strong members of the team that could do that. But yeah, so I am excited for the film. Obviously, that idea about bringing all the Phase 1 heroes together, that's not happening. But I probably will find some way to include the SHIELD heroes into the fight, but we'll see what happens. Maybe I want to do something kind of new with it and where these characters are at this point in time. So, I've already talked about this movie, but I am very excited for this film. And just I love the Captain America trilogy. It's one of my personal favorite movies of the MCU. Well, not my personal favorite, but like I love the second two Captain America films because the world building of Captain America's story, the world of it, it's just very cool to explore, and especially when we explore in Falcon the Winter Soldier with what these characters are doing after Avengers Endgame. It's just very cool. But I just can't wait to see something kind of new in the MCU with new characters and new action sequences. And I just can't wait for this film. I cannot wait to see James Rogers as the next Captain America, if he becomes it. But I cannot wait to make this movie, to probably do like a director's cut of it where I actually am talking in the background, because like this is a movie that I feel like needs to be talked about by the director, so which is me. So I can't wait for this movie. So that is it. That is our ranking.
Thanks for having me here today, Nick.
No problem. That's not supposed to be revealed in the real world. So
I'm your mama.
Okay.
And I'm very proud of you. And I'm excited for what the future holds with all your brilliant ideas.
Thank you. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My Instagram name is Marvel6. My TikTok name is Marvel1Fan. If you guys don't understand those names, head over to my About section so you can follow me on all social medias. I'm also on Letterboxd. It's the same name as my Instagram, Marvel_6_. And also her Instagram. Wait, do you want them to reveal your Instagram to the world?
No thanks.
Okay. So that is all for now. See you guys later. Bye. Do you have anything else to say?
Peace.
Peace.